For today's video, I'm looking through my scraps for a scrap bin challenge and looking at what I can make with what I have on hand. Let's see what I come up with. I started looking through my small pile of plywood and found a small piece. I was thinking of what to make, and there is something I need. A small tray for coffee and drinks, so I cut the plywood to size after figuring out what size I needed. Next, I applied a coat of red guard to all sides. This is a waterproofing product that is often used in bathrooms and showers before tiling, and it creates a plastic barrier. I was looking through my tile pile and found a piece of Carrara marble tile that I cut up in smaller pieces on the wet saw. I was thinking a running bond pattern like subway tile would look kind of cool on the tray, so that's what I went for. Next, I made some mortar to attach the tiles to the plywood, and I laid them all down. The next day I found some odd mahogany pieces from a project that I never got around to complete, and I thought they would be perfect for the sides. Well, the only reason why I'm using this inside here is because it's pouring rain outside and it's cold and I don't feel like being outside. Otherwise I probably would have done the cut on my miter saw outside. But this works too. Now I'm just pre-drilling and putting in the sides here. And when I did that, 2 tiles fell off because I turned it upside down. Now this is not a big deal. I've done plenty of tile tables in the past. And, I'll just make a little extra grout and put it in there. And once everything is grouted, it will be a lot more stable and a lot stronger. I want to be very careful in lining up my miter cuts here in order to get a nice clean fit. Okay, another one fell off. So the thing when something like this happens, you need to remove the mortar in order to attach it again, because otherwise they will be too high. So I'm just going to use an old chisel for that. I'm going to be making my own grout for this. So for the grout I'm using stone dust, and this is stone dust that I found in my wet saw. So it's basically fine marble, brick and stone, so it's perfect for this. But if you don't have stone dust, you could go to a tile shop probably and get some if you want. They probably should have a lot. Or, I'm doing this for fun, but it's a lot easier just to buy dry grout and then mix up just as much as you need in a small container. I'm going to be using 4 parts of the stone dust. And I'm going to be using 1 part Portland cement. And half a part of lime, which is calcium hydroxide. I'm also going to be adding some pigment to this because I want to make it a little darker to match the mahogany. Now, the difference between grout and mortar is that in the mortar, which is the glue, you put more sand and more Portland cement. That makes it less flexible. When it comes to grout, you need it to be more flexible so that the tiles can move a little bit more, kind of like brick in a building. But for the mortar, you want that to be like a strong glue, which is why you put sand in it. If you're making a larger amount, you would use mass measures for everything, but with these smaller amounts, volume measures are so much easier to deal with. I find it curious that I don't see tile being used a whole lot. Making small tile tables and trays like this, and I wonder if it is because people just find making grout annoying to deal with. But if you make small amounts, you don't have to make a lot. You can make small batches, and then it's a lot easier to deal with. This looks pretty good. So to attach the pieces that fell off here, I made a little extra mortar. To make this, I used 3 parts sand, 1 part Portland cement, and 1 part calcium hydroxide, which is lime. I'm carefully just gonna back butter my tile here, and I want to make sure that I get enough on so I get it to the same height as the other ones. So normally you would wait overnight to let the mortar fully cure and dry, but it doesn't matter so much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this right now and add add the grout. So the grout, I just mixed it, you know, like 10 minutes ago, so it has sat for a little while and just hydrated. And like always when you do tile work, I'm gonna let this sit for a couple minutes and then I'm gonna clean it off right away to remove any excess. So to cap this plywood piece here, I've just cut thin strips on the table saw, and these measure 1/4 by 1 inches. And I'm just gonna butt join these together, create a nice edge here. Okay, I have now all the pieces running wild, and I'm gonna cut off the excess just with a flush cut saw. For handles on the side here, I found some other scraps of a lighter color mahogany, so that's what I'm gonna use. So I made one already, and I'm just gonna sketch it out and on another piece to make 2 handles. Okay, handles are on. I'm using shellac to seal the stone, and this is a traditional way of doing it. And it's nice, particularly because marble is very porous and easily stains. So this mix has 4 parts raw linseed oil, 1 part beeswax. And you can always apply multiple coats. I'm so glad you could make it. Do you want a drink? Sure you do. This is bourbon. I like bourbon. How much do you want? A little more? Okay. I think we should celebrate. What should we celebrate? Well, that the tile tray is ready. I love the way it came out. What do you think? So are you making something with your scraps? You know, that's a really good idea. I didn't think about that. Well, cheers to many more projects. You follow me on YouTube, right? No? Well, you should. It's really simple. Just subscribe. You can find more information in the description below as well. Oh, and information on how to build this a little bit more clearly. And I'm on social media. We're friends on Facebook, right? No? So send me a friend request. Yeah, do that. And Twitter. And Instagram. Are you on Instagram? It's all these social media these days. I know, it's crazy. Well, I'm glad you could come and take a look at this project. Of course, it's always fun to use up the scraps. So anyway, thanks for coming by. I'll see you soon. Cheers.